Hi, Racker families. It's Katie here. Welcome. Today I'm going to talk you through making a windsock at home. This first part of the video is a few directions and a chance to get ready for parents, and then a little ways into the video I'll start with step-by-step directions for your child to follow. You can either have your child watch the directions first and then complete the activity, or you can have them complete the activity with me following along step-by-step. So the first thing you need to do is gather your materials. You can see on the page here what you're going to need, but I'll just walk you through it. You're going to need a toilet paper roll, some crayons or markers. It really doesn't matter what color, whatever you have at home and whatever your child likes. Some pre-cut pieces of tissue paper or streamers. You could use strips of wrapping paper. You could use strips of material. You could even use strips of colored plastic bags, whatever you have at home that you can find. You also need a piece of string. And whoops, I forgot. You're going to need a little piece of paper cut out in a cloud shape like this. This only took me about 5 seconds to make, so please don't worry about getting it neat or perfect. It's kind of a semicircle with some humps on top. That's all you need. It doesn't have to be fancy. You're going to need a stick of glue if you have it. That's ideal. That's what the directions are with here. But if you don't have it, you could use tape or the squeezable kind of glue. And then if you have a hole puncher, you can have your child help you punch holes in the tube. If you don't have a hole puncher, then ahead of time, go ahead and punch 2 holes, a little down from one end on either side. You can either poke it with a pen, which is what I did, or you could use scissors. Another tip for you is, this is my piece of string. That's what I could find around my house. If you can wrap a small piece of tape around the end of your string, this gives your child a harder tip to work with, and it makes it a little bit easier for them to thread the string through the holes. And then the other tip I'm going to give you is that before you bring your child over, that you would try putting the string through the holes just to make sure it's the hole is large enough and it's not too frustrating. So now you have your materials. So before you invite your child over, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the things you could work on during this activity. Obviously, we're going to be working on fine motor skills. One of the things we always work on at school is helping our child to be as independent as possible. So only physically guiding them through activities if they can't complete it on their own. And also fading off any physical help as quickly as possible. This is also a great time to work on following directions, either by following my video and following the directions, or by you verbally giving directions. You can also use the video, or you can model something and have them work on imitation skills. And then the other thing that we're always working on in the classroom is language. If your child is not yet speaking or just beginning to speak, there's a couple things you can do. One is that you could have them request each of the things that they need for each step. You can do this if they don't have any words by holding it up for them and helping them to point to it to request it. You can also try holding it up for them and giving them a single word in order to ask for it. So for this, you might just say tube and wait for them to repeat it back to you and then give it to them. Remember that our goal is for kids to be successful, so if that seems to be too challenging, then go ahead and have them point. But if they can't echo a word back to you, this is a great way to begin teaching that. Also, if your child is using pictures or a device, this is another great opportunity to use pictures or a device to request each of the materials that they need for each step. If your child is already verbal, using a couple words at a time, then again, you can have them request what they need for each step. You could even pause the video and say, what do you need next? And then have them request it with a multiple word phrase. You can also use a strategy called add one word, which means that anytime they are talking about what they're doing or they're asking for something, you add one extra word in your model. So for example, if they say crayon or want crayon, you could say want blue crayon. Another way you can work on language in this activity is by asking questions. Ask your child what they're doing during each step. or what they think might come next. Again, our goal is to have kids be successful, so always, always feel free to modify as is appropriate for your child. That includes for the fine motor skills. At the beginning, we're going to color this. If that's too much coloring for your child, then either just have them color as much as they can, or you can color half and then have them do the second half. All right, I think you're ready. Go ahead and call your kids over and let's have fun. Hi, Wrecker friends. I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to make a windsock together and then we'll get to play outside with it. So the first thing we're going to need is a tube. I see you. Then we're going to need, what are those called? Right, crayons, or you can use markers. You're going to need a cloud and glue. Good job. You're also going to need some strips of paper and a string. Here are the steps. First, we're going to color the tube. Next, we're going to draw a face. Then, we're going to glue the face and glue the paper. Last, we're going to put the string onto the tube. Now it's time to do it. Let's go. So the first thing we need is our tube. Get your tube and get a crayon or a marker. I'm going to use blue first.
So you have to put it down and you're going to hold it with this hand and you're going to color with your other hand. Color, 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 color. Let's do some more. Color, 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 color. Ooh, you can see it a little. Color more. Good job. I'm going to change colors. I want there to be lots of different colors. This time I'm using green. Oh, I'm going to turn it and color more. You have to color the whole thing. You can change colors anytime you want to. Here comes the brown. Ooh, you can see the brown better. I think I'm going to color in little strips like this. Good coloring. Keep going. Just a little bit more. Awesome.
When it's colored just the way you want it to be, you can go to the next step. The next thing you're going to do is take your cloud shape
and you're going to draw a face on it. What's on my face?
I have 2 eyes.
1 eye, 2 eyes.
And I have a mouth.
I'm going to make a smile.
If you want, you could draw a nose.
Or you can just leave it like that. Now you're going to flip it over and put some, what's this thing called again? Oh, glue. Glue. Remember to hold your paper with your other hand. Close it up. And then you're going to push it on. Pat, 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 pat. There we go. You might have to rub it a little bit. Looks like it's starting to come off a little bit. Let's rub it while we count to 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ta-da! Okay, the next thing we have to do is attach our streamers or our paper to the bottom.
Put glue on the end of your streamer. And then you can stick it inside and squeeze. Let's do it again. I think I'm going to pick a different streamer this time. Uh-oh. I ripped it. That's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I have to hold my streamer with one hand and spread the glue on with the other. Be careful. Now tuck it inside and squeeze. Looks like I need one more. I have one other color. Hold their paper with one hand, put the glue on with the other hand, gentle. Stick it inside and squeeze.
Ooh, there's my windsock. But wait a second, how are we going to hang it up? The last step is to put your string in your tube.
Stick it in and pull it out. And then you have two options. You can do the same thing on the other end, so your child can do it, or you can do this part if they're having trouble and you stick it through the other hole. And just stick it through a little bit and then let your child pull. Awesome. Now you can either tape the top closed or you can tie a knot in it. I'm going to tie a knot in it.
You can hold on to it or you can hang it up. But you know what? The most fun place to play with this is outside. Let's go outside and play.
Okay, so now we have our windsock, and I came outside to play with it. Hold onto your windsock tight so it doesn't blow away, and make it go high and low, up and down, high and low, up and down. Good job. Let's make it go in a big circle now. Ready? Up and down. Whee! Whee! Wow, those were big circles. Now we're gonna run with it. Get ready. Get set. Go! Stop! Go! Stop! Go! Stop! Go! Stop! Now we're gonna run fast. Ready? Set, go! Stop! Now we're gonna run slow. Whee! 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 Stop! Nice job running, friends. There's lots of ways you can play with your windsock. When you're all done, you can hang it up. Come on, I'll show you where I'm gonna hang mine. Back in this tree. Oh, reach high. And I'm gonna leave it out there so I can watch it from in my house. I hope you had fun, friends. Bye.